Hi, and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick.
And my name is Chris. And Nick, what do we got in store today?
Today, Chris, we're taking a cheeky look at Flare Networks and the Spark token that's caused a bit of an internet meltdown with some valuations and some numbers flying around. And we kind of just want to clear it up a little bit and give our two cents worth, I guess, Chris. It's going to be an interesting one. And we'll also have a look at the XRP charts, I think, as well, Chris, in the markets. But what was that you just said?
I was going to say it's definitely going to be an interesting one. It really is. Stay tuned, guys.
Really is. Right, let's jump on over, Chris, to CoinMarketCap and review the day's trading, shall we?
Let's do it.
Right, here we are on CoinMarketCap. We have a market cap of $567 billion. Trading volumes 111 billion, and Bitcoin's dominance here, Chris, is at 63.6%. And more astonishingly, there are now 8,013 cryptocurrencies out there. And yeah, we're invested in 21 of them. 22?
Yeah, it's
21,
crazy.
something like
Crazy,
that.
crazy numbers, Nick. Crazy
Crazy
numbers.
numbers. And here we have Bitcoin pushing up slightly. So we are 1.5% up for Bitcoin today, which is $19,472. Interesting to see if this is going to start the next rally and leg up. Ethereum 0.5 up. XRP did push down to a key level of support, which is fantastic to see because now that means we've tested an area that potentially means we could leg it up to the next section. We're going to talk about that in detail in a moment. We have Chainlink slightly down, Cardano slightly up, Polkadot's up, Stellar's up, Filecoin's down, VeChain's up, Theater's up, Algorand is up, Zilliqa is up, Ren is up, and Hedera is up. In fact, it's probably quicker for me to say the ones that are down. SingularityNet slightly down, FetchAI is down, API3 slightly down, and V4 is slightly down. So the rest of them, we're good. Don't worry about those. But if you're in the mood for buying, then definitely check out something like API3 that's 7% down today. That seems like an interesting move to be looking deep at, as is XRP. And I believe, Chris, I think you got into the markets earlier.
I did, yeah, because we were targeting the 0.46 retracement, weren't we? So I had a buy order in at 0.4679, and it came in beautifully today. So yeah, I'm in a very good mood. Really happy with that. It bottomed out just where we were intending it to bottom out, and then it bounced, and yeah, I'm in profit.
Fantastic. And obviously Spark is in this chart, and seriously, it has no trading volume and nothing for 24 hours and nothing for 7 days. No graph data, no valuations, 0, 0, and 0. And we'll get into that in a moment. But before we talk Spark, let's have a look at the XRP chart, because as Chris was just saying, if I pull this down on the let's go and have a look at the 1 hourly chart for us a moment here. And if I make these candles a little bit bigger, you can literally see we hit the line on the nail. I mean, it couldn't have made that any clearer. 46.79. And boom, it basically closed the green candle moments later. Loads of buy orders, guys, literally were filled at this point here, followed by an indecisive candle, right? So it was red, but the wick was lower than it was there, so it basically caused a green candle after that, green. So a higher high, a higher low, followed by another green candle. Now we've had two red ones here, just forming, seeing what's going on. But this last hour's candle, Chris, that's basically now turning bullish, as literally in front of me, turning from red to green. Let's see where this one closes. Are we going to be moving upwards, up and up? I believe that this was the bottom, and we'll be interested to see if we do go down any lower than that. But I think that was what needed to happen. We tested that very key area. And what I mean by that, if I just pull this back out to the daily and shoot this down a little bit, we were testing this area here, which was this one over here. This was June of 2019. This is a key area of resistance and support in previous trading patterns. So it was important that we tested it in this zone, which we obviously did today. So guys, I really do think that's the bottom. But obviously, people are referring to this one down here as well. This is about the 32 cents. I think that's a bit of a stretch. It can happen, obviously. But I think to do it, we're pretty much completely retracing this entire bullish movement. And I'm not sure that's going to happen. I cannot see it. And there is another line, I guess, around this level here, which would be about 42-ish cent, 44 cent maybe. But I honestly do think that this is the main test that we needed. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out in the coming days, whether these candles are now going to be changing. Now, the other thing that I've added to my charts, guys, that you may have noticed is I have the MACD down here. I have an RSI slightly modified, so I'm not looking at it from I guess an overbought and oversold perspective. I'm looking at this from a trending perspective. And I have the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, I always say the name wrong, whatever this one is down here. And this one is basically showing me the overbought and underbought, and I have slightly modified this one as well. Now, obviously, all of these, if you just look at it from a daily point of view, they all look pretty negative, right? But the second that we flick this into an hour, we get a very different picture, right? So this red line here is an area that we want to be kind of watching and focusing on, okay? And basically, we went above it, we came down a little bit, and now we're going to be hopefully going above it again. The above this red line is where we want to be. Below the red line is obviously going to be the downside, and upside is above the red line. So that's giving us an indication as to where the trends are going, right? Now down here, sorry, this gives us the idea of, ultimately following the candle patterns, right? So when it goes up, and it goes down, and it goes further that. Now this one down here also shows us where the selling pressure was and where it is not currently now. So this is going to be super interesting to see how this one plays out, Chris. And I think mixing these three indicators together with our candlesticks, I'm hopefully going to be able to get a bit more of an insight on how things are going to be playing out in the future here. But really keen to see if we can get this red one reversed, which I think we are going to be doing so in the next little while. And hopefully that's going to push things further up. We also want to kind of get back into this area here, probably around 49 cents or so, Chris. I think that's going to be a level of resistance, hopefully that will come into support and then push our way back up. And hopefully get us to the next level, which I think I'm personally targeting the range of about, if I get my numbers right, about $1, $1.10, something like that. And a few analysts out there that we've covered on this channel as well talk about potentially moving up to $2.80 by the end of May. So really interesting to see if those do come to fruition and play out. Chris, anything you want to add at this point on pricing, on charts, or anything like that before we talk about Spark?
No, I think we should just get straight into Spark, and yeah, just want to be clear. The reason why we're doing this video is we just want to clear a few things up, right? Because there's lots of well, some people call this stuff news, but I call it noise, and there's definitely a difference. So yeah, bear with us. Nick, let's go through the article and let's talk through why we've done this video today.
Absolutely. So Spark, FLR, trades at $1 a token on leading Indian crypto platform. Not going to mention the name. And this is obviously news that came out 13 hours ago, right? So didn't want to cover it, but we had the live stream earlier and it came up a lot. So we thought we'd get this out there and clear it up, right? So an official partner of the Flare airdrop. That's an interesting statement in itself. I'm not sure I even remember this name appearing on there as an official partner of the Flare airdrop. Has opened a trade of Spark tokens for its users on the 12th of December 2020, a global first. Yeah, you're telling me. More than 15,000 innovators have traded Spark on the platform in the first 24 hours. Interesting. Spark price hit an all-time or an intra-day high of $2.30 per token. Get that, Chris. Wow, amazing, $2.30 for Spark. Now we'll get into what we think, why in just a moment. But basically, the Indian's leading and most innovative cryptocurrency trading platform enabled the world's first trading of Spark tokens from Flare network on its platform starting the 12th of December, right? Okay. Sure. All users who held XRP on the platform got 15% FLR tokens as part of the Flare network, Flared airdrop, right? But then they also apparently gave an additional 5% FLR tokens for free to all eligible users. really interesting, because as far as I was aware from officially from Spark and Flare networks, that all of the tokens were allocated. So really interesting where the additional 5% came from. But yeah, we'll continue. More than 15,000 users have since traded FLR, with each user on average doing more than 2 transactions. Spark FLR token price varied as expected as the market reacted to the growing demand for the tokens. FLR price hit an intraday high of $2.30, more than 4 times the value of XRP, and that doesn't surprise me though, say that now, on which the airdrop was based. So commenting on the initiative, the CEO and founder said there are many overwhelming responses to Spark trading. There seems to be a lot of excitement among the community for Spark tokens than we initially thought. We are noticing more momentum being built up and expected the trades to multiply in the upcoming days. So we would like to mention these are IOUs credited to users in advance before the official distribution of Spark airdrop by Flare networks. As and when Flare networks start distributing the airdrop, we will keep crediting the remaining tokens to our customers. Having said that, this particular platform will most probably be the only exchange, at least for the next few months, where you can trade Spark tokens. So, there you have that last little bit there that I think has been overlooked heavily against many other places. But let's get into this for a moment, right? So obviously, FLR does not exist yet. It's not out there. It's not even available to anyone in the world, right? So interesting that they're trading a tokenized version of FLR on their platform. It is not actually FLR. So if you're buying these IOU FLRs, you're doing it in good faith that you will actually receive FLR as in exchange for it. The 5%, I find that interesting because, as I understand it, all additional unclaimed Spark is going into the incentive pool. So are they going to then be buying Spark, an additional amount of Spark, to then support their clients?
I guess there's probably 2 ways you could look at it, right? So either that, Nick, that you're talking through, or they know something that the rest of the community doesn't know yet, and that's that you're not going to get 15%, you're going to get 20%. Possibly, who knows?
Maybe, I don't know, but
I can't see it. But
no, I mean, to be honest with you, I always just refer to Flare networks. Whatever they say, that's the truth, right? It's coming from the horse's mouth, as they say. Everything else just gets a bit diluted down in Chinese whispers and whatnot. But I don't know where this 5% is coming from. I imagine they're probably just buying it and then distributing it back, and then maybe they have an agreement. Who knows? With Flare networks. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see that there was demand for it. But I wonder how much of those people who were trading 15,000 traded Spark, right? How many people knew they were IOUs and not actually FLR, right? There's lots of hype out there. Why is some exchanges have FLR and others don't? Well, I'll refer back to this here, guys. It has nothing. It does not exist yet. It's new. when FLR gets minted, you might start to see some data, but until then, nothing is actually in existence. And if you're going to be trading IOUs, I find that risky. What's your thoughts on that, Chris?
Yeah, it's risky because you're relying on a third party to I guess deliver on their agreement, because it's an IOU. That third party might not play ball. Don't get me wrong, they probably will, but there's a risk there, right? And as for the 5%, who knows? It seems a bit odd to me. I mean, it all seems really odd to me. It seems like a FOMO type activity where clearly people don't realize that it's an IOU. And I mentioned on the live stream that a few platforms have got IOU versions, but yeah, so this isn't the real Flare Spark token. Be careful out there is what I'd say. There's lots of scams going on, and initially when we were hearing all of this, we're like, no, it's not possible, it's not happening, and we hadn't read the article yet, so we wanted to kind of walk people through it because we know what it's like. people just seem to go mad and they don't read all the articles. They get, that bit was right down at the bottom, wasn't it, Nick? So it's easy how people can sort of FOMO in, and the only thing that I think is close to being sort of accurate regarding the Spark token is probably the price that people are talking about, right? Because when we looked through the white paper, and feel free to check out the video that we did on what we thought the price prediction for Spark was going to be, and to be honest, down the low end, because it was quite a wide prediction, wasn't it, based on what we read in the white paper. It's pretty close to what we were saying. We said $1.22, I think. So people are talking about $1, $2.30 was mentioned in this article. And I do think it is going to be around that sort of figure. I don't know what your thoughts are. Maybe a little bit higher. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it has to be higher than XRP. And this article kind of said, it's almost like a bad thing. It was almost 4 times higher than XRP. Well, yeah, it kind of has to be. It's supposed to be collateral. So interesting stuff. So guys, we wanted to kind of bring this out there, bring it to your attention. It's an IOU. It's not actually FLR. And yeah, I'm really excited for when FLR does actually launch, because I think it's going to be fantastic both for Flare networks and the XRP community as a whole. Lots of new functionality and ways to earn passive income using Flare networks, etc. Flare Finance might come up a fair bit as well, and like always, we're a bit skeptical. We want to see more information. We've actually reached out to Flare to find out their opinions on Flare Finance, because it seems that one seems pretty sketchy as well. So lots of things to just be very mindful of, guys, and be very careful. I think there's lots of unfortunate people. There's a lot of, I say unfortunate, there's a lot of people out there willing to help you part your way with your tokens and your assets, and you want to make that as difficult as possible. So guys, hopefully you found this useful and informative. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really appreciates it. And if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with that being said, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, take care, everyone.